lot of you might recognize this from a lot of my past videos. As I said earlier, it was, you know, a rainy, cloudy day. So yeah, we're here. It's breezy out. It's very nice out this morning. I'm gonna try and get this knocked out before it rains anymore. But it does feel really good, I have to say. So here's the setup, as you can see. All right. Now, I usually set my stuff over here on this bench. This is a floodlight right here, so it always stays on even after the actual park lights turn off. So sometimes I would come here when it's nice out and I'd stay here super late, which is nice because you could get the practice in. But yeah, you know, I'll usually set my stuff over here on the bench. I'll come over here. Now you notice this is the tennis court. Okay, so like, why are you on a tennis court? Well, first of all, because I can be, and two, the ground is super smooth for shuffling and for dance, you know, for sports like tennis, when you need to move back and forth, you know, you don't want very grippy surface like sidewalk right here. This is much smoother than, say, oops, I dropped something, than the sidewalk. Okay, so I discovered this 3 years ago when I moved out to this new location where I'm at now, and there's disc golf pads. Disc golf is a sport. There's pads all around this park. That's why it's such a huge park, is because disc golf, when you throw the disc, you know, you throw it to the next basket. There's a basket right over there, you can see by that tree, and the goal is to throw it, the disc, into that basket. Anyways, fast forward. So I would normally dance way over there on a disc golf pad by the man-made like lake, or small like little moat, whatever you want to call it. And you know, those disc golf pads have a lot of grip on them, which is great sometimes, but also, you know, I realized, like, I want something more smooth. Where can I find that? So I eventually I ventured over to the basketball courts and then the tennis courts. And then in another video, I'll also, or I might go over the length, because the length and the distance is very important of those pads. You'll see. Because I realized that, you know, in shuffling there's a lot of traveling left and right, which is why I then came to the conclusion that having this amazing tennis court here, which I might add is also like, you're very secluded and no one ever bothers you or comes out here for the most part. I noticed that, you know, from point A, you know, to point B, you know, left and right, horizontally, that's a lot of space. Okay, so a lot of space to travel, which is what I like to do, especially to like trance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm gonna measure it out, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, about 15 and a half feet. Okay, which is like perfect for horizontal videos for what I do. It doesn't always have to be horizontal, but it's, you know, it just depends how you want to film. A lot of the old Melbourne like hardstyle videos and shuffle videos period would have that horizontal frame, or aspect ratio they call it. So that is what led me to coming over here, and it was like a, it was a, what do you call it? It was like a, it was a positive, you know, because it was like two positives, because, well, maybe a few. Because I came over here, it's secluded, one, which is nice, don't have anybody to bother you. Two, it is nice and smooth. And then third thing, oh yeah, third thing was distance. Having all this distance to travel on, yet have a smooth surface area. Okay, I wish you guys could feel the weather, because it's not normally this nice out right now, but summertime here, it's usually like 110 plus. So anyways, okay, so that kind of explains why I'm over on the tennis court. You know, if you're ever wondering like how I do super nice spins and glides and all that, it's because of the surface, guys. It's very smooth, you know. Tennis, when you know, again, when you're doing tennis, you need to be able to, you know, you need to shuffle or jut back and forth in between these sections, or these quadrants, squares, for your opponent. You know, you can't have much grip because otherwise you're not going to be able to get from, you know, left to right. So yeah, this is why I occupy the tennis court. Okay, so moving forward, next thing you want to do, you know, first thing I do is I always kind of I make sure that there's no rocks or anything. I make sure everything is clear. You want to make sure the surface is, you know, kept nice. You know, one time, like, there was like a little bit, like someone drew some graffiti like with chalk, so I like washed it off because I didn't want that showing up in my video. You know, a lot of times the kids will kick rocks. You can see there's a bunch of rocks and stuff like that. Like, I don't want that on my space, so I either hand pick or I'll kick them back into the rocks over there because that's where they belong. And kids don't know any better, unfortunately. Kids being kids. And yeah, so that's the first thing you want to do. You know, make sure your area is clean. Okay, respect the area, and the same way you treat it, the same way when you come to it and you leave it, you leave it the same way. No trash. Pick your trash up. Okay. So next thing you want to do, obviously, if you're new to this, okay, I'm kind of going over everything I do in one shot here. That way I don't ever have to talk about this again, because there's a lot to this. If you want to be professional, if you want to take this up to the next level, okay, I'm going to show you guys everything that I do. Okay, so once you find your spot, okay, designate a spot where you can go and you're comfortable outside. First of all, I know, you know, there's houses around here, you know, there's a school over there. You know, that's up to you. I mean, you just gotta, eventually you gotta break out of your shell. Okay, I'm gonna get some front facing. You gotta break out of your shell eventually, and you just gotta go out there, you know. Plus, like, nature, it's amazing dancing out in nature, you know, with the nice weather. It's beautiful. And that all comes in time. Okay, you might be pushed to a certain limit to eventually go out to the park and just say, you know, screw it, I'm gonna dance, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna record, I'm gonna get some footage, you know, and I don't want to dance inside. No, you know, nothing wrong with dancing inside. That's why I have the studio. That's why I invested in that, because on days like this, well, when it's nice, but other days when it's hot, you know, I'm not gonna come here and sweat, you know, and you know, put my body through that, especially in Arizona. You know, it's the hottest state in the US, so go figure. But anyways, sometimes I'll record here in the corner, you know, from this angle. It's very rare that I record on this angle, because this is like almost 20 feet across plus. So that's and then see how far back I would be. Now, a lot of people did that back in the day too, from like watching old videos like in Melbourne and the garage parks and stuff like that. But I mean, that's fine, you can do that, and that takes a lot of travel distance. You can do it. That's why I stay with like a little bit shorter, with the 15.5 feet. You know, if we were to do this, just to give you some perspective, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, about 21.25 feet. So like I was saying, that's a little bit extra travel distance that I don't want to I just don't want to do. That's too long for me, because I've learned in this last 3 years that, okay, about 15 feet or so is perfect for horizontal, and even on those disc golf pads, which I'll show you guys later, it's perfect for me. And the way that the music syncs up to my dancing and my wide T-stepping, traveling back and forth, this is like one of the perfect lengths for me and what I like to dance to. It's going to be different for everybody, and that's fine. You do you, I'll do me. But I'm sharing this with you because, you know, this is what I like to do. Like, this is how I do, I should say. And it might benefit you. It might shortcut you, so you can also, do it this way as well.